what is the ROI of overcoming the bus factor and documenting?
Well, I would say, and I don't want to be one of those alarmists, but either spend a day now to get, at a minimum, make sure that as a business owner or C-level exec, make sure that you have ownership of everything that your resources have ownership of. And you can look at one and say, okay, if this person disappears tomorrow, for whatever reason, are we screwed? are we going to be in trouble? And if the answer is yes, spend a day and have a meeting and tell everyone, listen, I saw this video online and they're talking about this and that. I want to make sure that I can sleep at night. Please help me. Let's do this now. Either you do that, or if it does turn into a situation down the road, you may spend weeks or you may spend months trying to get control of your business, and you may never get control of your business. You may actually, and I don't want to be one of those people who's an alarmist, but you may actually lose your business if you do not have this organized. So the ROI is infinite. It's something that has to be done.
Life or death almost sounds like it could be,
well,
right? With your business.
It could go to that extreme. I mean,
yeah.
I've seen people who have set up their corporate business page, their corporate website, and I'm talking years and years ago when the internet was just starting to boom and everybody was like creating startups left and right, like during that bubble, and they didn't know what they were doing. So anytime you paid a company to build your corporate website, that company would buy your domain. That company would host your site, would buy your hosting, and then 2 years down the line, they're like, they're paying this company every year to keep their domain alive, to keep their site alive, to keep doing updates. And then if they ever want to change who runs their site, they're screwed. And I'm sure some of that has trickled down into today as well, that some companies are still on that they
are. Yeah.
My business, my personal business.com is not actually owned by me. Let's say, it's owned by someone else. And if ever I get into an argument with him, he's just like, well, I own it. I've owned it for 10 years. It's my domain. You want it? Buy me out.
Yeah. Another good way to put it, Kyler, is if I own a restaurant and it turns out to be the most successful restaurant in the city, but I don't have the keys, and people that I don't today necessarily like them anymore, or they don't like me anymore, and they're the ones with the keys, I'm going to have to start having some uncomfortable conversations. So and if the person who has the key to the refrigerator disappears for whatever reason, we can't get into the refrigerator. It might take a couple of days. So that's a couple of days that we can't get any food out. So I know that's a very stupid, non-technical way to put it, but that's the simplest way I can put it.
It correlates. It correlates well.
Mm-hmm.
So while everyone's happy, everything's great. Hey, everybody, by the way, I got to get all the keys to the restaurant. I got to put them in one central location. That's only normal. It's the same thing with your web business.
I think developers need to normalize that as well. It's just and I know sometimes a tendency on a developer is like, well, if they don't know this or they don't know that or they don't have the full picture, then, I'm essential and I can't get it, I can't be gotten rid of.
Yeah.
The truth is you can be gotten rid of. No matter how essential you think you are, we have seen it. You can be gotten rid of because look, that's just the way it is. And it's painful, and somebody might, the business owner might take longer to catch up and get all the information back, but they will. There's ways to get all that information back.
Yeah.
Which will cost them more money in the long time, right? In the long term.
But
cost them so much time
it'll sour your relationship with them as well too, because you didn't want to, you didn't want to share. I don't know how better to put it. It's just, as a developer, if you're working with a company, if you're working freelance, you're the code belongs to the client. The access belongs to the client. It's normal that the client has all these things. If you're holding on to it because you want to ensure that you're the only one who can touch it,
Yeah.
Just for me personally as a developer, that stings. That creates like a bad rep. Like,
Yeah. I agree, Nick, and imagine how much your client will appreciate if you come in to work tomorrow and say, by the way, I've realized that I have master access to this, and you don't have access to that, and Johnny is the only one that has access to that. How good would your client or employer feel about you if you came in? First of all, you mention it and you have a solution. You know, like they would appreciate it so much, and it's something that's only normal to do, to make sure that your client or your employer and all of your colleagues are protected in case one of you has some type of issue. So I think it's a great point, Nick.